It's time now to hear from both managers, starting with David Moyes.
How different are Manchester United are you facing now under the charge of Michael Carrick, obviously, compared to what you faced at Old Trafford earlier this season?
Well, I don't think there's any player changes, that's for sure. I think it's roughly the same players just about as what Ruben had when he was in charge. I think Michael's come in and done a brilliant job. I really do. I think he's sort of freshened the players up with the looks of it, and certainly freshened up the support as well in the way they're getting some victories.
Michael, it's just over a week ago that Sir Jim Ratcliffe made his comments on immigration. Obviously they've had a global impact, but they've also been condemned by many people, including all Manchester United's major fans organisations. As the most visual face of the club, as the manager, the person that we hear from more than anyone else, could you give us your assessment of those comments and the impact they've made?
Yeah, I think Sir Jim's made a statement, and the club's made a statement on the back of it, really. So for me to add to that is not my place to add to that. I think enough's been said in that regard. I think what I can say is, as I've been around this club many years, and I think we always make a huge impact globally in whatever way, and we're really responsible for that. And throughout the years, as a player, as a member of staff, as a supporter, I think we're really proud of the environment and the culture that we've got at the club, and equality and diversity and respect for each other is something that we look to carry through every day. And I've travelled the world, and I know what this club means to an awful lot of people, so fully aware of the responsibility, and we're trying to carry that out every single day. Is there
a possibility that Sir Jim's comments undermine that? You were part of a multicultural squad. Sir Alex Ferguson made a point of emphasising the different backgrounds in that squad and said it was one of the reasons why you were so successful. You're now in charge of a squad with players from all kinds of different backgrounds, both from England and overseas. Have you had to speak to them, and is Sir Jim's comments possibly undermining unity and what you are trying to achieve?
We got a really strong group, whether that's the players in around the dressing room, and the staff, and certainly around the club and outside of the club, but certainly within the club. I think we're in constant communication anyway. We're here to support each other and help each other in whatever way we can. So the boys have been in really good spirits this week in terms of training. We've had some time away, so I think that was important for a refresh and a bit of a deep breath of everything, for the short time we've kind of been together to digest everything, and then come back and focusing on what's next. So we're looking forward to the next game at this stage, but yeah, obviously we're here to help each other, support each other in any way we possibly can.
Michael, just picking up off that though, do you think comments like that can impact a group that, as Simon mentioned, are from all around the world, from different backgrounds, from different social classes as well? When they see someone of such leadership at the club, can that have an impact? I guess not even on the football, but just in any working environment.
Yeah, I think part of being at this club, we understand what it's like, and globally, and as I said, the responsibilities we have, and within this, and I can only speak from my personal experiences of being here for a long time, and with various managers, with various staff, supporters largely probably stayed the same, gathered some new supporters over the years, but all backgrounds, different backgrounds, and it's something we're fully aware of, and I am, and I'm proud of what the club stands for and has done for so long, really, and I'm really aware of that.
Just on team news now, looking ahead to Monday, I think you mentioned Mason Mount could be close back to fitness for Everton, and De Ligt. Do you have any kind of updates on those especially? Yeah,
Mason's getting closer. I think we're really we're going to be patient as well, and we have been patient with him. So we don't want to push anything. He's an important part of the group, Mason, and we want him back and fit, and he'll have a big impact for us. So he's getting closer, which is good for us. Matt's a little bit working towards it. But as I said last week, he's a little bit behind Mason, really. So we're just trying to work with him to progress him to get him a bit closer, really.
Michael, how'd you go about beating Everton?
Listen, there's a lot goes into a game. David's teams are hard to play against, you know, and he's such a good manager, and with the experience he's got and knowing what it takes to have success in this league, and it's a new challenge for us, you know. It's one we're looking forward to. I think it's one where we've had a lot of time to look forward to it. So yeah, it's going to take a lot. I think it's going away to Everton. I know it's a new stadium, but historically, it's always been tough. It's always been the atmosphere and the supporters that they create. I think it's always been one of the toughest ones that I've played away from home. So we're aware of that, and then trying to be our best way we can. You know, I think we've got things to improve on, but we've got a good base and a good foundation moving forward. Good spirit. So we'll have to draw on pretty much all of that on Monday night.
You said you've had a couple of weeks here to just take a breath and assess the start that you'd made together. Did you feel like the West Ham performance was a little bit of a step back from what you've shown, and what are the details that you think need to change for this Everton game, who may well have a similar approach to West Ham as well?
I think we've got to be a bit balanced, you know, in terms of not getting carried away before that game in terms of winning games, and certainly not getting carried away if we don't come away with the 3 points. I think there's an understanding of games are tough to win in this league, and it's proven, not just for us. So I think a lot of the performance in terms of the control and how we went about the game there was a lot of in the kind of the month or so that we had together. I think it was important for everyone to have a couple of days to digest that and take it in, and so the boys have trained a bit, had a few days off, trained a bit again, and looking to get the balance right of keeping the sharpness, keeping that the focus, which the boys have been, I have to say, really good in training again. And then moving forward, the fixtures have thrown up some mixture of gaps between games, really. So just adjusting and adapting, and we'll see what kind of comes of that. Especially obviously the international, and then a bit of a break after that. So we'll manage it as we go, but we'll obviously try and make the best of it.
Unbeaten under Michael Carrick. The smile is back. Again? The stress is gone from yourself and other Manchester United fans. Does he get the job permanently?
Yeah, I went early because I said he should get the job about a month ago, genuinely. And for me,
your pom-poms right here.
No, sometimes these things can come back and bite you. But what I love about what he's done is he's not tried to change everything. He's brought that love back. He knows the club. I think, Steve Holland as well has been fantastic. Jonathan Woodgate, Johnny Evans. I know a lot of people have been critical of his appointment, but whatever he is doing, it is working.
Yeah.
And that West Ham game, Benjamin Sesko has come under a lot of scrutiny. That finish was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And these are the types of things. When I was watching this game, I was thinking we're going to get something out of this game, and it felt like the Man United of old. Casemiro then scored. It was offside. But Kobbie Mainoo,
yeah.
I mean, a player talking about coming back from, he started one game under Ruben, Darren. So, not getting carried away, but, that's a decent opportunity there. Xerxes was really close.
This wasn't the United we saw in the 3 games prior. Maybe, they dropped points for the first time. It was a little bit different.
I mean, sorry, Jules, but that finish, that has to be in with goal of the season for me, because as a former centre-forward, when you watch that technique from Sesko was unbelievable.
Why is it so good? Why?
Because it's the natural instinct. He's past the front post and he's had that instinct. I mean, he missed a sitter against Tottenham the week before, and I know Bruno and him were having a conversation after. But for me, I think he's still got a lot to learn. I know there's been a lot of comparisons between Sesko and Gyökeres because they were brought in at the same time. Gyökeres was supposed to go to Man United, but I like what he's done so far.
Yeah.
He's been in and out of the team. He's not been the main number 9, but at the same time, these finishes that he has are really good.
And he's another one of those players who, as you mentioned, has come really good under Michael Carrick.
That's a finish, to have his first touch facing the other way, to swivel, that's... And the height he gets on these celebrations as well. I know it's been going viral, but he's, up in the sky,
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not getting carried away. I sound like I am in my voice. It went all high-pitched. But, I'm happy with where Man United are at. And to answer your original question about why I think Carrick should get the job, this is the Man United of now. This isn't the Man United of old. And I had to have a word with myself because I'm sitting here saying, Man United are going to get Ancelotti, they should get Emery, they should get Luis Enrique. We're not that Man United. We're still one of the biggest football clubs in the world, Darren, but we're not that Man United as we were under Sir Alex.
Yeah, no, listen, I agree with you, but I don't actually agree with you for a slightly different reason. I don't think that you're settling for Michael Carrick. I think if you look at all the different metrics, he ticks the boxes. You know, he's improved players. Sesko looked like he was an expensive mistake, and now he looks as though he's a decent striker. He's brought the feel-good factor back to the club. He's got them playing in the way that we've come to understand Man United should be playing, which is with adventure and confidence and charisma. And I think as far as he is concerned, he's one of your own. So why would you not keep him?
And there must also be this element from the players. They've seen what he's done. He's played recently enough for them to, have been able to watch him, probably seen him on YouTube. There would be a lot of players who would respect him just because of that and maybe more inclined to listen to what he has to say.
You get respect when you come in, but then it's what you do with that respect. And there's a calm assuredness. I remember the Arsenal Man United game, and Arteta was all over the place, and Carrick had his arms behind his back. He was very calm on the touchline. He'd handed the responsibility over to the players, and it's no coincidence that they've now gone 9 games undefeated. That's their best run for 5 years, and I think that's going to continue under Carrick. He's got a hard assignment because Everton's run is fantastic. I think they're looking to do the double over Man United for the first time since the 13-14 season. It's going to be a fascinating game. If I'm not mistaken, Carrick played under David Moyes at Manchester United, so it's the master against the apprentice.
But what I like what he's doing, though, Darren, is, like, from what I'm hearing, he's making the sessions shorter in training, so it's more intensity, but for less amount of time. And I know foreign managers, I've played under many of them, they like you at the training ground for, 9-10 hours a day. It's very regimented. And I think, he understands the players. You're talking about when I played under people, let us do our thing. We've had all week to prepare for this game. And when you see managers on the touchline, different people like different things, shouting and hollering. But I personally prefer the managers just let us do our thing. And Carrick's going to academy games. He's at the under-23 games. That is Manchester United.
100%.
That is how Manchester United have been.
That's another box to tick. Exactly. All the different metrics, you have the answer. Listen, if you look at the last 15 years, for example, I'll give you a couple of other examples where people have wanted the grand and the exotic. England, Gareth Southgate, they wanted so many other big names. And here was this guy right under their nose that didn't just play good stuff, but what he did was he changed the culture of the club, and he also was the right man for the right moment in the difficult social climate that existed in the country at that time, and he got us to semi-finals, he got us to finals. I think that we have under our noses at Manchester United a guy who could meet that moment as well.
Well, as much as Manchester United are pushing for the Champions League places, Everton themselves are dreaming of Europe. I mean, if they'd won that game against Bournemouth, which they went on to lose, they would have gone above Liverpool in the table. Can they do it?
It's a big ask because I don't think they have the strength in depth. I think the fact that Jack Grealish is now out as well, and I think one of Everton's biggest problems, ironically, Dominic Calvert-Lewin moving over to Leeds and scoring goals, but he was never really fit for them for the last 3 or 4 seasons. They haven't got players that can put the ball in the back of the net. That's been one of their biggest problems, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think so too. They need goal scorers in the window. They didn't get them. They're going to have to address that in the summer.
Well,
Tim, it's been 2 years, as we said, to the day that Ineos got this minority stake in Manchester United. Do you feel like he's improved the club since he's got this ownership?
Oh, I think they went backwards at one stage, and I think now they're in a position where he'd be quite happy moving forward. I think Michael's steadied the ship there. Team's playing very well. It's a small sample size, obviously, but I really think that they will go on and finish in the Champions League spots, which that club needs. Robbie talked about the finances, what that brings to any football club. Manchester United have to be in the Champions League, and I think Michael Carrick has put them in a position to be able to achieve that. I really believe they will get there. But they've gone for a few managers to be able to get to this one, and this one's only till the end of the season, so it'd be really interested. I'm interested to see what they do at the end of the season. I think that Michael Carrick might do so well that it's impossible for them not to give him the job on a full-time basis, because no Thomas Tuchel anymore. It looks like Mauricio Pochettino, whether he was in the frame or whether he wasn't, will go to Tottenham Hotspur. So there's a limited amount of options for him to choose upon now. It all depends whether Michael gets the job or not, depending on who else is out there and who else wants the Man United job. I'm sure there's a queue around the block for that job. But I believe they've got the right man in charge now. And I'm not saying that he's always going to get tarnished with that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brush. You know, people say, well, yeah, but there's no need. Exactly, I agree. There's no need to give him the job now. But by the end of the season, that's why I don't want to say in hindsight, I believe he takes them to the Champions League, and I think he's the right man for the football club.
You alluded to it a little bit about sort of knowing a club, you know, when you took over and you had that respect from the players already. Is that what's really important? Is this why you feel that this was a good appointment for Manchester United, for Michael Carrick?
Yeah, but he has already experience as a manager. He's not like somebody that came in without any experience. You know, he's already had that experience.
Yeah.
And so knowing the club, knowing some of the people that work at the club, but also if you look at his backroom staff, you know, there's a strong connection to Man United, to Manchester United. And my good friend Steve Holland is his assistant coach there, who's been appointed as well. He's a brilliant coach as well. So they have a good, him and his coaching staff, they have a good balance. And, you know, I don't think it's just a criteria of looking at the results. They will look how he manages the team, how he manages the environment. The way they're playing is certainly exciting, and it's the way Manchester United fans want to see the team play. And then ultimately it gives the club also a little bit of time to assess all those factors to see then at the end of the season he will probably be in the frame, and he might be, you know, one of the top of the names on those and on that list. But United's had so many great managers in the past which haven't worked out. So it's not always the name that works out or can guarantee you success. We know we have an experience with Spurs. Antonio Conte, you know, he's been successful everywhere, but it doesn't always guarantee you success because there has to be a connection between the manager or the management and the staff and the players and the club, because it's so important that the club and the management, they work together and they have a relationship, you know, a professional relationship. It's one of my mistakes actually when I was a manager.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a weak point of myself that I just didn't manage good enough upwards.
You did all right, certainly, with the Champions League. It was up
to leave as well. It's all happening. We're keeping a close eye on that one. But now it is prediction time. So let's get stuck into the predictions, shall we? We start with Aston Villa versus Leeds. Leanne, you can go first.
Ooh, I'm going to go Aston Villa 3-1.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, actually. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Darren.
Yeah, no.
Brentford.
Only got 4 minutes left.
Brentford versus Brighton.
Brentford at home, very, very strong. I think they'll win this by 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brentford 2-1.
Chelsea, Burnley.
I'm going to go Chelsea 2-0.
Yeah, Burnley are poor. Chelsea should win this by 4 goals.
West Ham, Bournemouth.
West Ham to continue the momentum. 2-1.
Oh, I'm going to go Bournemouth. 2-1.
OK. What about Manchester City, Newcastle?
I said at the beginning of the show, I feel like, I don't know, I have this feeling that Newcastle could get a tune out of this, so I'm going to go 1-1. I don't know why, I just feel it. I could be wrong.
Newcastle are winless in 20 visits to Manchester City.
Could change. Similar to when Spurs go to the Etihad.
I'm going to go with City to win by 3-1.
OK, then on to Sunday's games, Crystal Palace versus Wolves.
Tough game because of everything that Leanne and I have just been saying, and I think Wolves, they are playing and they are committed, and the manager is committed as well. I think Wolves might pinch this by a goal to
I'm going to go 1-1, and only because I think Palace still have quality players, better quality than Wolves. I know obviously Wolves have brought in Armstrong, but I'm going to go 1-1.
OK, what about Forest, Liverpool?
Oh, I'm going to go Liverpool. I'm going to back them as much as it pains me to say. I'm going to go Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah, I probably would go along with that. A lot of fight in the Forest team, but more quality in the Liverpool team. Yeah. And I think they'll find a way to win this by 2-1.
Sunderland, Fulham.
Close one, this, because Sunderland, just wheels coming off a little bit. Both of them got the capability to win this, both got the capability to lose this. I think it might be 2-2.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I like what Harry Wilson's doing this year at Fulham as well. But I think, yeah, this one has a draw written all over it. I'm going to go 2-2 as well.
Then the North London derby, Spurs, Arsenal.
I'm going to go Arsenal. I know they've obviously had a bit of a blip of late, that game against Wolves midweek and drawing games, but they've only lost 1 in 20, Jules, so it's important for people to remember that. I'm going to go to Arsenal 2-0.
I'm going to go Tottenham. Ooh. No, not really.
No, you can do. No, you can do. I mean, new manager.
I know that's going to be on TikTok. I know it.
I'm going to go Arsenal. Arsenal should have far more quality, and Spurs just can't stop conceding.
Scoreline for us?
I actually think it'd be quite emphatic. 2-3-0.
Okay. Everton, Man United.
Oh, I mean, Everton haven't been great at Hill Dickinson Stadium, but I'm going to go Man United 2-1. I think it'll be close.
I'd go along with that. Tough assignment for Carrick, but the momentum is with them. They've got more players who can score goals. They've shown that character, didn't they, to go all the way to the wire against West Ham, and I think they'll do that again. I think they'll overwhelm Everton and maybe win by 3-1.
Okay, which game are you most looking forward to this weekend? We have like a minute left.
North London derby. I mean, all day long. I know Tottenham haven't been in the greatest run of form, but I think this is one of the biggest games in world football, genuinely. Yeah. As someone who's been to this game and like the feeling amongst the fans, and I think if Arsenal can win this one, it won't stop them from feeling the negativity that they felt of late from the draws against Wolves and Forest and Sunderland and Brentford. But I do think this is the game you look forward to, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Just to see whether the anxieties are going to get to them or not, because which Arsenal will turn up. That's the thing.
Yeah, and we're wondering what will Igor Tudor's Tottenham Hotspur look like, and we won't have to wait long.
So are the Tottenham players.
Big weekend of Premier League coming up. We are already looking forward to it. I know you're going to have a fabulous weekend watching the football. Thanks to Darren, thanks to Leanne, and thanks to all of you for joining.